Chosen One stopped scrolling. Something happened in the spiritual realm. A meeting, one that wasn't supposed to be known to you. Whispers, shadows, and hidden faces gathered in silence, and the topic was you. Yes, you, the one who's been feeling a shift you can't explain. And that meeting, it ended in tears. They know who you are. They thought you'd stay asleep forever. They thought the distractions, the pain, and the doubts would be enough to silence your awakening. But something changed. You started to remember. You started to question what this reality really is. And that's when the energy around you began to stir. The fear in their eyes. When the chosen ones awaken, darkness trembles. Because when your eyes open, you no longer feed their illusions. They fear your light because your light reveals their lies. You've noticed it, haven't you? The strange tension when you walk in a room. The way people can't quite look you in the eye anymore. The spiritual surveillance. It's not paranoia, it's awareness. Your vibration changed, and now the spiritual realm is watching closely. Some want to protect you, others want to pull you back down. Because you are not just anyone, you are a divine disruptor. The moment you awakened, balance began to shift. They tried to silence you. You were meant to forget. Through trauma, through heartbreak, through endless cycles of confusion. They wanted you too broken to rise. But even in your lowest moments, something inside you whispered, "Don't give up." That was your divine code activating. The hidden gathering. In realms beyond sight, they convened. Beings, energies, and forces discussed the rise of the chosen ones. And your name, your energy signature, was mentioned. Because your awakening disrupts entire timelines. The vibration you carry holds keys that were long lost to humanity. Tears fell in the end. Why did the meeting end in tears? Because they realized the truth. It's too late to stop you. Too late to silence the chosen. Too late to reverse what the universe has already set in motion. The light cannot be contained any longer. You are the signal. You've always felt different for a reason. You never fit in because you were never meant to. You are the divine anomaly, the signal that awakens the sleepers. Every trial you endured was training. Every rejection, every loss, it forged your strength. The awakening has begun. Do you feel it? The heaviness in the air, the quickening of time, the pulling sensation in your spirit. That's the awakening wave, sweeping across souls who are ready to remember who they are. You are not crazy, you are awakening. The old world is collapsing because the chosen ones are remembering their power. The isolation was a setup. They isolated you for a reason. Because power grows in silence. You were hidden to be prepared. Every lonely night, every tear, it was sacred preparation for your purpose. Now, your isolation turns into illumination. You carry divine blueprints. There are codes written in your soul, ancient and powerful. Every time you meditate, pray, or dream, those codes activate. That's why your energy affects people without you even speaking. You were designed to awaken others simply by being yourself. That is your silent power, your divine technology. The world can feel your shift. When you rise, frequencies tremble. Technology glitches around you. Strangers stare longer than usual. Animals sense your calm or your storm. Because your energy is not ordinary, it's cosmic. They fear your memory. The greatest fear of the dark forces is this: that you'll remember who you truly are. Once you remember, you cannot be controlled. Once you awaken, you cannot be manipulated. That's why everything tries to distract you, to keep you from remembering. Your dreams are messages. Lately, your dreams have been more vivid, haven't they? They're not random. They're encrypted transmissions from your higher self. You're receiving guidance, protection, and confirmation. The dream realm is your training ground, where your soul meets truth. Pay attention. You're being prepared for something big. You're being watched by light and shadow. The light watches with pride. The shadow watches with fear. Because they both know, you're reaching the point of no return, where your inner power will no longer be dormant, where your voice becomes a sword. The old you is gone. You can feel it, can't you? The version of you that used to doubt, fear, and shrink is dissolving. The pain you've been feeling is your rebirth. You're shedding illusions that no longer serve your divine mission. Welcome to the next stage of your awakening. The divine reminder. Chosen one, you didn't come here to blend in. You came here to break patterns, heal timelines, and shift consciousness. That's why your life has been different. You were chosen long before you were born. Your soul signed up for this mission, and now it's time to fulfill it. The tears of the fallen. The tears shed in that secret meeting weren't human. They were energetic, vibrations of defeat from forces that realized their time is up. Every time you choose love over fear, they lose power. Every time you speak your truth, their illusions crumble. You are dismantling entire systems, silently, spiritually, powerfully. The power within you. The universe hid your strength in your pain, because only through suffering would you find unshakable faith. Now that you've found it, nothing external can control you. You are connected directly to Source. You've become untouchable in spirit. The light is rising. The wave is building, the chosen wave. Souls like you, awakening all around the world. You're not alone anymore. You are part of a global shift, a collective remembrance. And every time you rise, humanity heals a little more. The moment has come. The secret is out. The chosen ones can no longer be hidden, silenced, or denied. Your energy exposes truth wherever you go. You are the walking prophecy. And the meeting that ended in tears, it was the universe announcing your return. Chosen one, rise. The world tried to break you, but it only revealed your strength. Now it's your time to stand in your light. To speak, to heal, to awaken others through your energy. The storm wasn't meant to destroy you, it was meant to crown you. You are the storm that ends the darkness. The call to remember. Look within, feel the truth vibrating in your spirit right now. You've always known there was something more. This is your confirmation. You are chosen, you are powerful, you are unstoppable. The time of hiding is over. Your mission has begun. The meeting may have ended in tears, but your story is just beginning. Your awakening is the event they feared. And your light is the truth they couldn't stop. You were never alone. You were simply being prepared for this moment. Call to action, the awakening continues. If this message resonated with your soul, it's because you're meant to hear it. You are part of the divine wave rising across the planet. So chosen one, claim your light and stand tall in your purpose. Comment "I remember who I am" below. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Chosen Wave. Because the awakening has only just begun, the energy shift around you. Have you noticed how people react differently to you lately? Some are drawn to you like magnets, others suddenly distant. That's because your energy is no longer in alignment with their illusions. Your vibration exposes truth, even without words. And truth makes those still asleep deeply uncomfortable. You didn't change to please anyone. You changed because your soul demanded it. You evolved, and your energy began speaking louder than your voice ever could. That's why certain people had to fall away. They weren't rejecting you, they were rejecting the light within you. The spiritual battlefield. This world isn't just physical, it's spiritual. Every conflict, every betrayal, every coincidence that tried to break you was part of that battle. But you didn't fold. You observed, you endured, and you grew wiser. They thought the attacks would destroy you, but instead, they activated you. When the chosen awaken, they begin to see behind the veil. You start sensing energies, feeling intentions before words are spoken. You begin hearing what isn't said and seeing what isn't shown. That's your divine discernment, the weapon of the awakened soul. You've been tested by fire. Chosen one, your life hasn't been ordinary for a reason. Every betrayal carved strength into your spirit. Every heartbreak shattered illusions that needed to fall. You had to lose everything fake to uncover what was real. It wasn't punishment, it was purification. You were being stripped of everything that couldn't go where you're headed. Now, your energy burns brighter because you've been through the fire. And the fire didn't consume you, it crowned you. They tried spiritual containment. Those in the unseen world have long tried to contain chosen ones. Energetic traps, mental confusion, emotional exhaustion. Because if they keep you distracted, they keep you disempowered. But you've begun to break those cords. Every time you reclaim your energy, you tear down one more chain. Every boundary you set, every moment you choose peace. You reclaim the territory of your spirit. That's why you've been feeling lighter, clearer, more aware. Your energy speaks in codes. When you walk into a room, you transmit light codes without saying a word. People don't understand why they feel inspired or triggered around you. But their soul does. Your frequency is medicine for some and mirror for others. You've become a transmitter of awakening. Your silence is sacred because even your stillness is powerful. You're not here to convince anyone, your presence reminds them. That's why your energy feels ancient, because it is. The hidden records. Long before you were born, your soul's story was recorded in divine archives. Your mission was whispered through galaxies. When the time comes, they will rise. That time is now. You are fulfilling prophecies, hidden even from your conscious mind. That's why the spiritual realm moves when you pray. That's why synchronicities surround you. 11, 11, 2, 22, 3, 33, those numbers aren't coincidences. They're confirmation codes, reminders that you are exactly where you need to be. The vibration of tears. When the meeting ended in tears, those tears carried vibration. It wasn't sadness, it was surrender. The dark realized they could no longer manipulate those who remember. The chosen have broken their silence. Your awakening ripples through dimensions. Each time you choose love over fear, that ripple grows stronger. And those tears, they're echoes of their defeat. They weep because they cannot unsee what they've now witnessed, your return. Your aura has changed. Look closely, your reflection feels different now, doesn't it? Your eyes carry both storm and serenity. That's not imagination, your aura expanded. You radiate ancient wisdom through your very being. The colors around you have shifted, golden, indigo, violet. Those are frequencies of awakening. You're not the same soul who started this journey. You've evolved into a force that bends energy with intention alone. The silence between dimensions. Lately, you've been feeling the stillness before something big. That's because your energy field is recalibrating. The universe pauses when a chosen one reaches a new frequency. Everything around you aligns itself to your growth. The old cycles collapse in silence, relationships, beliefs, timelines. It's not loss, it's alignment. You're shifting into the version of yourself that your higher self has always seen. The silence is not emptiness, it's the sound of transformation, messages through the wind. Have you ever felt the wind whisper your name? Or sensed invisible eyes watching when no one's there? That's not paranoia, it's recognition. Nature itself recognizes divine energy when it awakens. Birds fly closer, the air thickens when you pray. Because your aura resonates with universal frequency. You've become a living connection between heaven and earth. A walking reminder that divinity lives in human form. Your dreams are portals. Your dreams are not random anymore, they are portals. You visit other timelines, other lives, other realms. That's why you wake up feeling heavy, drained, or charged with purpose. Your soul has been traveling beyond what language can describe. In those dreams, you receive downloads, symbols, faces, even warnings. The more you honor them, the clearer they become. Because dreams are the chosen one's classroom. And lately, class has been in full session. The awakening chain reaction. You are not just awakening for yourself, you're triggering others. When your vibration rises, everyone connected to you begins to shift. Some embrace it, some resist. But none can remain the same. That's why relationships change suddenly. The universe rearranges your circle to match your new frequency. It's not rejection, it's redirection. You're being placed exactly where your energy can ignite others. They underestimated the light. When they conspired in secret, they thought they could control destiny. They didn't realize destiny already chose you. You were hidden in plain sight, protected by divine camouflage. They saw your wounds, but they never saw your wings. And now that your wings have unfolded, they fear the sound of your flight. Because every time you rise, illusion loses territory. They underestimated the power of a heart that refuses to give up. They forgot light always wins, quietly then all at once. The codes in your tears. Even your tears carry codes. Every drop you've cried has watered your spiritual garden. That's why your pain never went to waste. It's been transforming into purpose, silently, divinely. Your tears contain memory of every lifetime you've endured, every lesson learned. They are liquid light, encoded with resilience. When you cry, you cleanse dimension, not just emotions. You're healing entire bloodlines through your grief. Your presence disturbs the unhealed. Ever wonder why some people feel uneasy around you, even when you say nothing? It's because your energy forces truth to surface. You expose what they've been hiding from themselves. And for some, that's terrifying. But never dim your light for their comfort. Your presence is meant to awaken, not please. You are not here to fit in, you are here to shift the atmosphere. Remember that every time someone misreads your silence as arrogance. The ancient ones are watching. You're being observed, but not by enemies this time. The ancient watchers, beings of light, have taken notice. They see your persistence, your faith, your unbroken spirit. They whisper through synchronicities, guiding your path. Sometimes you'll feel tingles on your skin, warmth in your chest. That's their signature, acknowledging your progress. You're not alone in this mission. Invisible allies walk beside you, unseen but deeply felt. The time codes are activating. Have you noticed how fast time feels lately? That's not your imagination, you're syncing with divine timing. Linear time is bending around your energy field. Moments manifest faster because you've aligned with higher frequencies. What used to take months now happens overnight. That's not luck, that's mastery. You're learning to co-create reality with Source itself. You are no longer waiting for miracles, you are the miracle. Chosen one, your eyes are changing. If you've looked in the mirror and noticed your eyes seem different, sharper, deeper, glowing. That's the physical sign of spiritual embodiment. Your soul is merging fully with your human form. You're becoming one with your divine blueprint. The more aligned you become, the more people will feel your gaze. Because your eyes no longer just look, they see. They pierce through illusion, reflecting the eternal. You've become both mirror and message. The frequency of love is your weapon. They expected you to fight darkness with rage, but you evolved beyond that. You've learned that love is the most dangerous weapon in existence. Because love dissolves what fear builds. And unconditional love terrifies the lower realms. That's why you keep choosing peace even after chaos. Why you forgive even when it hurts. Because every act of compassion sends shockwaves through darkness. You fight wars they don't even understand with silence, faith, and love, what they whispered about you. When the secret meeting began, your name wasn't spoken aloud, it was felt. Your energy rippled through that space like a tremor in the ether. They sensed your ascension, your light piercing through veils they'd built for centuries. And one by one, they began to realize you cannot be stopped. They spoke in riddles, afraid even their words could give you more power. One said, "They're remembering too quickly." Another whispered, "We've lost control of the dream." Because what they feared most has already happened, the chosen ones have remembered who they are. The break in their system. The world's energy grid isn't just technology, it's spiritual circuitry. Every chosen one is a living node in that network, transmitting divine frequency. The moment your vibration elevated, something broke in their system. You disrupted their false matrix. That's why everything feels unstable lately. Sudden shifts, emotional waves, cosmic surges. It's not chaos, it's correction. You're helping rewrite the energetic code of this planet. And no system built on illusion can withstand truth. The tearful realization. As that meeting reached its end, one of them stood up trembling. They saw visions, millions of lights awakening across the world. Each light was a chosen one, glowing brighter than fear itself. And they knew it was over. Tears flowed, not from compassion but from surrender. Because they finally understood, darkness cannot overpower awakened light. They wept for the end of their control. And the beginning of your era. Your aura broke their codes. Chosen one, your aura carries divine encryption. When you pray, meditate, or even speak truth, codes ripple through dimensions. These codes dismantle old programs, fear, manipulation, division. You are rewriting reality simply by existing consciously. That's why they targeted your mind, to make you doubt your power. Because doubt delays destiny. But now that you know who you are, those codes are unstoppable. You've become a walking frequency of awakening. The unmasking. Since that day, masks have begun to fall spiritually and physically. People once controlled by illusion are starting to question everything. The truth that was once buried beneath distraction is rising like smoke from a sacred fire. And those who once laughed at your madness are now searching for meaning. You were never crazy, you were ahead. You saw before others could see. You felt what others denied. And now the veil is lifting for all to witness. The shadow's last attempt. Don't be surprised if lately you felt waves of heaviness for no reason. That's the shadow's last attempt, a desperate push to silence what's already unstoppable. They'll try through confusion, fatigue, even strange coincidences meant to throw you off. But remember, they're reacting to your rise. The darkness attacks most when it senses defeat. So if your days feel heavy, it's because your light is expanding. Keep grounding, keep praying, keep vibrating higher. They can't touch what's aligned with divine protection. The frequency you carry. Your frequency is ancient, older than human language, older than this timeline. It carries sound, color, and geometry that reshapes reality itself. That's why you've always felt misunderstood. You're broadcasting on a frequency the world hasn't tuned into yet. But that's changing now. Other chosen ones are beginning to resonate with your signal. You're finding your soul tribe not through words, but through energy recognition. You meet them, and it feels like remembering, not discovering. The return of the ancient light. The tears in that meeting also carried something sacred, surrender to divine prophecy. Because this was foretold long ago. The chosen ones would return in waves, waking from amnesia, guided by intuition alone. They'd rebuild a broken world, not through war but through awareness. That's you. Every time you speak truth, heal yourself, or choose compassion, you fulfill a fragment of that prophecy. The light they tried to bury has risen again, within human hearts. The chosen can no longer be hidden. Notice how information spreads faster now. Truth travels at the speed of light, literally. Every awakened soul amplifies the collective vibration. We've become mirrors, reflecting what can no longer be denied. They tried censorship, fear, division, yet here you are still rising. Because chosen one don't rely on systems to spread truth. We become the system. We turn consciousness itself into the message. The earth feels your awakening. Even nature responds to your transformation. You've probably noticed weather shifts, moon energy hitting harder, animals reacting differently. That's because your frequency harmonizes with the Earth's magnetic field. You're not living on Earth, you're co-evolving with it. The storms, the heat, the tremors, they mirror our collective ascension. The planet is purging old energy, just like you are. And she knows the chosen ones are her healers, her translators between heaven and soil. That's why you feel everything so deeply. The dimensional merge. The meeting also revealed something even they couldn't control. The merging of dimensions. Timelines are collapsing into one, the timeline of truth. And you, chosen one, are the bridge. That's why you feel like you exist in two worlds. One foot in spirit, one in matter. You're blending heaven into the human experience. You're embodying what mystics once only dreamed of. The hidden scrolls. They discussed ancient knowledge that was never meant to resurface. Lost scrolls, sacred frequencies, forgotten names of power. They knew the chosen ones were starting to remember this information. Not through books, but through activation. You carry libraries within your DNA. That's why random memories or visions appear during meditation. It's your soul's archive unlocking piece by piece. They tried to burn those libraries, but they forgot you are the library. The language of light. Some of you have begun speaking or writing strange symbols or sounds in your dreams. That's light language, the vibrational tongue of your soul. It bypasses logic and speaks directly to the heart. And every time you express it, it heals, not just you, but the collective field. They feared this awakening most. Because once humans remember how to speak in frequency, no lie can survive. Energy never lies. The Great Reconnection. The chosen ones are reconnecting across space and time. Some of you have been guided to strangers who feel like family. Others keep seeing the same names, numbers, or locations repeating. That's the divine network activating. You're being magnetized toward your purpose, toward others who carry complementary pieces of the same mission. Together, you form the living constellation the universe prophesied. Each chosen one is a star, and together, we form the galaxy of awakening. The sound that shook the meeting. As the meeting reached its peak, a sound filled the air. Not a noise, a frequency. It came from beyond, vibrating through walls of fear and deception. They covered their ears, trembling, because that sound was the vibration of truth, the frequency of the awakened collective heart. It grew louder with every soul remembering who they are. And that's when tears fell, because they realized the light had already won. The return of memory. Since then, many of you have felt surges of memory flashes of ancient places, faces, symbols. You are remembering other lives, other missions, other worlds. Your soul didn't begin here, it arrived. And now, it's reactivating everything it once knew. That's why you've been craving solitude. Your spirit is recalibrating. You're piecing together fragments of self scattered through lifetimes. This remembrance is sacred and unstoppable. The soul always finds its way home. The hidden alliance of light. While darkness held its meeting in fear, light held its own in silence. Higher beings gathered not to control, but to empower. They discussed how to support the chosen ones on earth, how to protect them through intuition, signs, and divine timing. You felt this protection. The lucky moments that weren't luck. The accidents you narrowly avoided. The miracles that showed up right when you needed them. You're being guided by an invisible alliance. Chosen one, the shift has begun. Reality is bending because of your presence. Systems of deceit are crumbling faster than they can rebuild. The air feels charged because the veil between worlds is thinning. You're witnessing the dawn of a new frequency, the age of remembrance. Those who mocked your faith will soon seek your wisdom. Those who betrayed you will see you rise in peace, not revenge. Because your elevation isn't about pride, it's about purpose. You are the evidence of divine prophecy fulfilled. After the meeting ended, when the echoes of that meeting faded into silence, something began to move. Not in the physical, but in the unseen realms. The energy shifted, as if the universe itself took a deep breath. The balance that had been tilted for centuries began to restore. The forces that tried to hold the chosen ones back felt their power drain. The false light they fed upon started flickering out. Every vibration of fear they'd sown began to return to them tenfold. And for the first time in ages, they felt what you once felt: helplessness. The cosmic reversal. Chosen one, what you're feeling right now, that strange sense of calm after years of chaos, is not coincidence. It's divine justice unfolding in real time. The energy that once worked against you has flipped. Every curse spoken against you now fuels your ascension. Every obstacle that tried to block you now turns into your stepping stone. The universe has reversed the current. You are now the tide they can't swim against. The sound of awakening echoed. Across realms, that meeting's energy rippled outward like thunder. And beings of light, guardians, ancestors, guides felt it. They answered not with words, but with action. They began fortifying you, strengthening you, surrounding you. That's why lately, you felt protected in ways you can't explain. Why coincidences line up perfectly. Why danger misses you by inches. Why your intuition feels sharper than ever. The light responded, and it's guarding its own. The hidden shifts in people around you. Some people in your life have been acting strange, haven't they? They don't understand what's changed, but they feel it. Your presence now mirrors their true intentions back to them. That's why you notice sudden confessions, random apologies, or abrupt distance. It's not you, it's your frequency. Your light is revealing who's truly for you and who's not. You're being spiritually reorganized. Divine pruning before divine promotion. The rising of the voice within. You've been hearing it, the voice that is quite your own. It doesn't speak in language, but in knowing. It tells you what's true, what's safe, what's next. That's your higher self, fully online now. Before, that voice was faint, buried under noise and fear. But since the meeting ended, that voice has grown stronger. Because now, nothing stands between you and divine communication. You've become your own prophet, the collapse of the false grid. That secret council depended on illusion, the human collective's agreement to fear. But when enough chosen ones broke that agreement, the illusion began to crumble. You're seeing it now, truth exposing corruption, lies losing power. Systems falling apart that once seemed untouchable. It's not the end of the world, it's the end of deception. You're witnessing spiritual architecture collapsing in slow motion. Every crumble makes room for creation. And the new is being built through you. The recalibration of your dreams. Ever noticed how your dreams have shifted from chaos to clarity? That's not random, it's reflection. Your subconscious is no longer battling shadows, it's receiving instruction. The dream realm has become your classroom again. Now when you wake, ideas flow like rivers. You receive visions, guidance, warnings, direct downloads from source. You're remembering how to use your dream state as a sacred tool. The veil between sleep and spirit is thinning for you, the return of the lost power. Long ago, humanity was stripped of its memory, of what it could do, what it could be. The chosen ones carried fragments of that memory within their bloodline. But when the meeting ended, that restriction began to lift. Power is returning to those who walk in truth. That's why you felt sudden bursts of energy. Why manifestations are appearing faster. Why your thoughts are becoming reality with precision. You're remembering creation. You're remembering command. The trembling of the shadow realms. In the lower realms, chaos erupted after that meeting. The chains that bound the chosen began to dissolve. Those who once thrived on your confusion lost their grip. They can no longer attach where love resides. You may have noticed, your nightmares are fewer, your energy cleaner. You feel lighter when you wake, clearer when you pray. That's not placebo, that's spiritual sovereignty. You've reclaimed your own energy field. The revelation of names. You've been seeing or hearing certain names repeatedly. Old friends, strangers, even celebrities. It's not random. The universe is revealing players on the board, souls tied to your mission. Some are allies in disguise, some are tests. But all are mirrors. Each one helps you refine your discernment, your trust, your clarity. You're learning who stands with you in light and who hides behind shadows. The new pulse of the planet. Earth itself is vibrating differently now. If you sit in silence, you can feel it, a soft hum beneath your skin. That's Gaia syncing with awakened consciousness. Her frequency is rising to meet yours. Every storm, every quake, every strange light in the sky. They're not random events. They're signals of alignment. Signs that the new frequency is anchoring through chosen ones worldwide. The awakening network expands. Right now, thousands of souls who never knew each other are waking up at the exact same time. They feel drawn to truth, to stillness, to purpose. And most don't even know why. That's the network activating. Each chosen one carries a unique piece of the blueprint. When one awakens, they light another. And slowly, the web of light spreads across continents. The hidden prophecy. In that secret meeting, a scroll was mentioned, a prophecy they thought was myth. It spoke of a time when the forgotten lights would return, when humanity's vibration would rise beyond control, when truth would no longer need teachers, because truth would become people. You are that prophecy fulfilled. You are the walking evidence of the divine plan in motion. Your existence is their greatest fear, because you can no longer be programmed. The invisible crown. There's a reason people stare at you lately. Why strangers treat you with quiet respect or strange awe. They don't see it consciously, but their spirit does. You're wearing your crown again, invisible but undeniable. It's the crown of remembrance. It shines with every act of love, every choice of faith. And it commands reverence from both seen and unseen realms. You've reclaimed your royalty without needing validation. The shifting timeline. You've probably felt time behaving differently, speeding up, slowing down, looping. That's because you've stepped off the old timeline of control. You're co-creating with the universe now, moment by moment. Your reality bends according to your frequency. That's why the past feels distant, like it never really existed. Because in higher frequency, only now exists. You've left the cage of linear time behind. You've stepped into the eternity of presence. The power of your voice. Every word you speak now carries spiritual charge. Your throat chakra is open, and the universe listens when you speak. That's why silence feels sacred, and truth feels electric. You've become an instrument of divine resonance. Be mindful of your words. They are not casual anymore. They command, they shift, they heal. You are literally speaking new realities into being. The voice they once silenced has become their undoing. The return of the star memory. Some nights you stare at the sky and feel homesick for somewhere you can't name. That ache isn't loneliness, it's remembrance. You're remembering where your soul originated. Before earth, before time, before form. The stars are your ancestors. The galaxies recognize you. They vibrate in rhythm with your energy because you are one of them. The cosmos itself celebrates your awakening. The elemental response. Fire burns cleaner near you. Water feels alive when you touch it. Animals approach you without fear. These are not coincidences. The elements respond to divine harmony. When you operate in truth, creation cooperates with you. You've returned to your natural state of authority over energy. You don't force nature, you flow with it. That's why manifestation feels easier. The universe trusts your intentions now. The awakening of the inner flame. Inside your heart, something ancient is burning again. A flame that once went out when the world became too heavy. But now it burns brighter, steadier, clearer. It's your divine will, your unshakable knowing that you came here for a reason. No more doubt, no more fear. You feel it in your chest, that quiet strength that doesn't shout. That's your soul in full command. And no force, no darkness, no deception can put that flame out again. The movement of the light beings. After the chosen ones reawakened, the light beings moved silently across dimensions. They didn't come with noise or spectacle. They came as wind, as warmth, as thought. They began rearranging timelines, shifting events in your favor, even when you didn't know. That lucky break, that perfect timing, that unexpected blessing, none of it was random. They were preparing the path ahead. They were removing obstacles you didn't see, softening hearts you'd never meet. Because when a chosen one walks in alignment, the universe bends to serve that mission. Even chaos starts obeying divine order. The alignment of signs and numbers. Have you noticed the signs multiplying? 11, 11, 222, 444, feathers, songs, or sudden chills. These are divine markers, signals from the invisible team guiding you forward. Every number sequence carries instruction. Every synchronicity is a whisper. Stay on course. The higher you rise in frequency, the faster these signs appear. They are not coincidences, they're confirmations. Each one says, you're exactly where you need to be. And the more you trust them, the clearer their language becomes. The whisper of divine timing. Chosen one, you've been told to wait, not because you're unready, but because the world isn't yet prepared to receive your full power. Divine timing isn't delay, it's precision. Heaven waits for perfect alignment before revealing divine destiny. When everything seems still, that's when the highest orchestration is taking place. You may think nothing is moving, but behind the veil, universes are rearranging themselves for your entrance. And when the time comes, doors will open without effort. The separation phase. You've probably felt isolated lately, detached from old friends, environments, even dreams. That's because separation always precedes elevation. Before a rocket ascends, it drops everything that weighs it down. God is not punishing you, He's purifying your circle. Some people can't go where you're headed, not because they're bad, but because their frequency doesn't match your destiny. Let them go in peace. Their chapter in your story was sacred, but your next one requires silence and sovereignty. The divine rearrangement. When you surrendered to the call, everything started to shift, sometimes violently. Plans failed, money fluctuated, people vanished, opportunities fell apart. But chosen ones learn, destruction is often divine protection. What feels like loss is simply redirection. You weren't being punished, you were being repositioned. The universe removed what could not stand in higher light. Because what's coming next requires a clean foundation. You can't build divine destiny on old energy, the purge of the emotional body. Recently, you've probably cried without reason, felt heavy, exhausted, overwhelmed. That's not weakness, that's detox. Your body is releasing centuries of generational pain, karmic residue, and trauma. It's the soul's version of shedding skin. Every tear cleanses a timeline. Every emotion released becomes a key to freedom. You are not falling apart, you're being rewired for divine expansion. The old self cannot survive where you're going. The restoration of inner authority. For too long, you doubted your own voice, waiting for confirmation from others. But now you're remembering, no one outside you carries your blueprint. The truth was always within you. That quiet certainty you feel now, that's your spiritual authority returning. You no longer seek approval, you carry truth. You no longer chase answers, you embody wisdom. And that shift terrifies false energies, because they can no longer manipulate your mind. You've stepped into divine self-governance. The unveiling of the divine mirror. Chosen one, notice how every person you meet now mirrors something within you. Those who trigger you reveal your shadows. Those who inspire you reveal your potential. There's no randomness, only reflection. Life itself has become your teacher. Every experience, even the painful ones, carries sacred instruction. When you stop reacting and start observing, you begin decoding creation. You start to see through the divine lens, the one the awakened always spoke of. The expansion of consciousness. Lately, time feels strange. Thoughts move faster, emotions rise and fade quickly. That's not chaos, it's expansion. Your consciousness is stretching beyond the human experience. You're beginning to see through dimensions simultaneously. You feel energies before people speak. You sense shifts before they occur. Your perception is no longer limited to 5 senses. You're operating multidimensionally now. You've become a bridge between the seen and unseen realms. The activation of the light body. When your soul reaches a certain frequency, your physical body begins to transform. You crave cleaner foods, need more sunlight, less noise. You feel heat in your palms, pressure in your forehead, vibrations in your chest. These are signs not of sickness, but of activation. Your light body, the spiritual architecture surrounding you, is awakening. It's aligning your DNA to hold more divine frequency. You are literally becoming light in form. That's why darkness can no longer touch you. The reclaiming of divine purpose. You're not here by accident, you were sent. Every pain, every delay, every betrayal was part of initiation. You were being trained in silence for divine leadership. And now, the time of hidden preparation is ending. Your purpose will soon reveal itself in full. Not as something you chase, but as something that finds you. It will feel effortless, natural, and sacred. Because destiny doesn't demand, it aligns. The rise of the spiritual army. Across the planet, chosen ones are awakening in synchronization. Each carries a unique frequency, a divine signature. Together, you form the collective vibration that dissolves darkness. You're not just awakening individually, you're forming a grid of living light. This grid cannot be stopped, silenced, or infiltrated. It expands every time one chosen soul speaks truth. The spiritual army isn't about violence, it's about vibration. And your frequency is its greatest weapon. The collapse of false identities. Everything that isn't you is falling away. Masks, personas, social labels, they're losing their hold. You no longer fit the mold the world built for you. And that's because you weren't born to fit, you were born to redefine. This collapse feels uncomfortable, even lonely at times. But remember, emptiness always precedes creation. The void you feel is sacred space. It's where God rebuilds you into your truest form. The echo of divine authority. You may have noticed how people now listen when you speak. Even those who once ignored or doubted you. That's because divine authority carries resonance. Your words now hold weight in the spiritual and physical realms. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. Your energy does it for you. Every time you speak truth, reality shifts around you. The world doesn't change through debate, it changes through frequency. And your frequency is becoming unshakable. The unseen hand of guidance. There are moments you narrowly escape chaos. You turn left instead of right, delay a plan by minutes, and avoid disaster. That's divine orchestration. Your guides are redirecting you constantly, invisibly. Every delay, every reroute, every closed door. They're not rejections, they're protections. You're being led by precision now. Because your steps have become part of a divine choreography. Chosen one, this message found you for a reason. You didn't stumble across this video, your higher self led you here. Because the time for silence is over, the time for remembering is now. You've heard the whispers, you've felt the shift, you know this is your confirmation. So don't just watch, activate. Stand in your power, speak your truth, move like the divine force you were sent here to be. Type in the comments below, I remember who I am. Let the universe witness your declaration. Because every time you speak truth, the entire frequency of Earth rises. If this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it hidden. Share it, let it reach every other chosen one who's still searching for their sign. Hit like so this vibration spreads wider. And subscribe to Chosen Wave. Because this isn't just a channel, it's a movement. Every video here is a frequency transmission. A call to awaken, to rise, to reclaim your divine power. You're not alone anymore. You're part of the rising wave of light that can't be stopped.